Okay. Hello. I decided to make some videos. It's probably gonna be back to back, but I'm gonna be able to post them, across some periods of time because I have a bunch of boxes to unpack from just deliveries that have been sitting here for a week, and I keep meaning to do a post about them and it just hasn't happened. So here's video one. First thing, which I promised my friend and maybe a couple of you that I would talk about a little bit more, is that I got a new cup, a new period cup. So if you're not interested in period stuff, you can probably skip to the next video. That's totally fine and understandable. But I've had my Saalt cup for 2 years, I think it is. It's been a long time. It's lasted so long. Okay, 2 years for one cup versus a tampon lasts 12 hours. So that's so wild to think about. And I figured I would show it to you before I started using this one, because I just feel weird showing you the one I've actually used. It just seems strange to me. So the one that I've had for 2 years, it has started to deteriorate. I can tell that it's just I don't know if it's breaking down or what, but I mean, they say it lasts a year and a half, I think is what it says. I don't remember actually what the explanation is, but it's time for a new one, so I got a new one. I got this one off of Amazon. You can actually get these at Target. I bought the Saalt because I took a test on I forget what the test is called, but if you just look up period cup test, I'm pretty sure it's probably the top Google result. It really helped because it asks all these different questions, how high is your cervix, and how heavy is your flow, and all these really personal things that honestly, before using a cup, I didn't even think about. I didn't even know some of the answers. I actually had to research when I was taking the test, what does that even mean? How do I know if I have a high cervix or a low cervix? I don't get it. So if you have thought about switching from tampons or pads to a cup, then I highly recommend it. I used tampons primarily my entire life, and I wish that I would have had one of these sooner, because it's been such a it's been so much easier than using tampons. Reason being is that I can leave this in for 12 hours and I'm not scared of getting toxic shock syndrome, which my mom terrified the crap out of me about growing up. So that's number one. Number two, if it fills up, it has it's essentially a suction cup to the inside of your vagina. So there's not really any way for it to leak out. If anything, it's mostly just filling up inside of your body. And I literally I've had I think 3 leaks in the last 2 years, and one of them I know for sure I didn't set it properly, and I could tell the moment it happened. I was like, oh crap, it was loose, and I didn't it was in the beginning and I didn't realize how to put it in. And then the other 2 times, usually it's when I'm sleeping and I feel I kind of crunch in a certain way that kind of releases the suction. That will make sense once I show it to you if you've never used a period cup. So, okay. I decided to get the black one because, it's gonna have blood in it, so a lot of blood. I mean, if you're squeamish to blood, just so you know, this will be a learning experience for you, and it will help you become a lot more in touch with yourself, because I get really freaked out by blood, puke, poop. I mean, I'm not meant to be a nurse, for example. So at first it was kind of shocking to me how much blood was coming out of my body, because in a tampon you kind of don't realize how much it's absorbing. So to see this entire thing full of blood, I was like, oh my god, I'm gonna die. But you don't, and that's why women are magical, right? So you can see it's super flexible, and this one I think is made out of a new type of material. My old one I think was even a little bit thicker, And I don't know if you can tell. Yeah, you can kind of see these little holes at the edge. That's what causes like the suction cup effect on the inside of your body. So it kind of sits inside like this, and then you would like pull it out like this, and this would kind of like pull it down the canal. It has like grippy pieces on the bottom which help you grip it to pull it in or to also push it up. And to put it in, I think like it came with a booklet with like 7 different ways of like inserting it. I don't even remember the other 6 because I can't even comprehend how you could get like 7 different ways of folding this. But I just like, I pinch mine in half, and then I think I do this 7, or I don't know what they called it. It's like I kind of fold it down like at an angle so that this goes in first, and then once it's in, then I go whoop, and then it kind of opens, and then I keep it kind of pinched until I can turn it and get the suction forming, and then I like let it release. I think that my cervix might be a little bit lower than I thought though, because sometimes I think that my cervix like gets in the way, so I have to like, okay, imagine this is my cervix. Sometimes I go to like release it and I think it's like bumping into it, so I have to like bring it down a little bit, open it up, and then I kind of like push it forward. So that's probably like a lot more information than you probably ever expected to hear from me, but I'm just like trying to be really open about this topic that I feel it's like so new that there's not a lot of places to get this information. So if I were friends with you and we were talking face to face, I would be telling you all this stuff because I'm very open like that. So hopefully if you're on my Instagram, we're just cool like that. And if we're not, then that's okay. You can follow me. That's fine. All right. So this is the Saalt cup. Hopefully that gives you some more details on how a period cup works if you've never used one. And if you have used one, I'd be really curious to hear like what you have found in your experience, or like any tips that you wish that you knew if you had first started using one. Like I said, this is the Saalt brand and I really like it. But I feel like there's a lot of really good brands out there. So, oh yeah. And then I guess the last thing I probably should go over is like cleaning it wise. I have a little sticker now. Okay. Cleaning it and storing it. So I actually literally on my counter here in the kitchen, which I don't know why it's here. I think I pulled it out of my purse. This is the bag to my first one. I only use it if I'm like not on my period yet and I'm going somewhere and I think I'm going to become on my period while I'm at somewhere. Otherwise, if I'm on my period, it's like in there the whole time, so I don't need to carry it then. And then whenever I'm not using it, I actually have a little, what is it? Not ceramic, clay little bowl thing that I like wash it in, and I kind of soak it with some like soapy water just to like really get it all out. And then it sits in that until it's like time again. So I really only use a little holder like when I'm not on my period. And I'm curious what this new holder looks like. Oh, it's prettier. Oh, look at this. Cool. So that's how you store it. Now, as far as cleaning it, like if you start using one and you are out and about, which I mean is pretty rare that I'm out for more than 12 hours at a time and don't have access to a private bathroom to change it out. But if in that, rare occasion that I do, then I try to use the handicap bathrooms because it usually has the sink nearby. So like whenever you dump it out into the sinks, there still could be blood like dripping from it. So I usually take a piece of toilet paper and like hold it underneath it and then go to the sink and then wash it out, like rinse it. Really, I just rinse it in public bathrooms because I try to like touch as least amount of things as possible. And then after I rinse it, then I put it back in and call it a day. But if you were in a stall that didn't have a toilet, then you could just dump it and then just put it right back in. But I don't know, I feel like I like to rinse it just to like get it some freshen up, but I don't even think you have to. Okay, if you have any questions that are things that you think maybe I could go into more detail, please leave them in the comments below, or if it's really weird to comment on a public post like that, you can also message me and I would be happy to answer any questions that you might have if I have experienced that I could share. And if you know anyone who you think has either thought about using a cup or who has never heard of one and you've been like trying to explain it to them, then tag them in this video or send it to them so like that they can get on the bandwagon, because why are we using tampons still? Like, I just feel like that's just so wild how it's not become outdated yet, because this is amazing. I bought a $30 cup one time in 2 years, and here's my next $30, and I won't probably need to buy another one for another 2 years. Like, talk about budget friendly. Alright, that's it for today. I will make my next video and post it whenever, but yeah, thanks for joining.